Good morning to all. Today we will discuss about spermatogenesis and oogenesis. These two comes under gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the process which involves the formation of haploid gametes from diploid germ cells. हैप्लॉइड गैमीट के बनने की जो प्रोसेस है, क्योंकि गैमीट्स जो होते हैं इनमें half the number of chromosomes present होते हैं, that is n number of chromosome which are contributed by single parent, whereas the fusion of these two gametes, that is ovum and the sperm, makes a zygote which contain diploid number of chromosomes. Now the process of gametogenesis involves spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. Now what is spermatogenesis and the oogenesis? Spermatogenesis is the process of formation of haploid gametes, that is haploid male gamete, that is sperm, from the diploid primordial germ cell, whereas oogenesis involves the formation of haploid ovum from the diploid primordial germ cell or the egg mother cell. Now oogenesis is divided into two main processes. That is, the first process is formation of spermatids and the second process is spermiogenesis. Now the first process, that is formation of spermatids, involves three subphases, that is the multiplication phase, growth phase and the maturation phase. Now the multiplication phase involves the repeated mitotic division of primordial germ cells, resulting into the formation of so many spermatogonia. Some of the spermatogonia enters into growth phase. These are the type B spermatogonia, whereas some of the spermatogonia repeatedly divide, that is they divide again and again to form spermatogonia, because in human male million of sperms are produced daily. So these spermatogonia, that is A type spermatogonia, repeatedly undergo mitotic division to form spermatogonia. Some of them enters into the growth phase. Now the second phase, that is the growth phase. Here the spermatogonia start accumulating the nutritive material from the surrounding environment and grow twice in size and are known as primary spermatocytes. Now the third phase, after growth phase, the third phase, that is the maturation phase, starts. In this process, the primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis first, which is reductional division, because the chromosome number, that is diploid cell जो था ये, the chromosome number reduces to half and the two daughter cells are formed, which are known as secondary spermatocytes. Meiosis first is immediately followed by meiosis second. This division is equational division, as the chromosome number remains same. Parental cell and number of chromosomes, that is haploid, and the daughter cells are also haploid. Now at the end of this maturation phase, one primary spermatocyte produces 4 spermatids. These spermatids undergo the process of spermiogenesis to form functional sperms. Now these are spermatozoon are the functional sperms. Under the process of spermiogenesis, they accumulate or they store those materials which are required by the sperm in their future growth and development, whereas the waste material which are are the materials which are not needed. They shed off those materials from their body or the cell body. Now, the process of oogenesis. थोड़ा सा हम लोग oogenesis का भी कर लेते हैं, फिर इसके बाद हम लोग डिफरेंस कर बताएंगे. Oogenesis, here also the primordial germ cells undergo repeated mitotic division to form so many oogonia. Here the spermatogonia. In this process, oogonia are formed. The oogonia forms cluster, that is 400 to 500 follicle cells forms a cluster, and one of the oogonia from that cluster enters into growth phase, whereas the other oogonia give their nutritive material to that particular oogonia which undergo the growth phase. Now, the size that is twice the size of spermatogonia in process of spermatogenesis. Here, the size of oogonia increases 200 times. Now, the primary spermatocyte is formed after the growth phase. Now, after the growth phase, the process of multiplication phase starts, because oogenesis involves only three processes, that is multiplication phase, growth phase, and the maturation phase. Here, the two processes, that is formation of spermatid and spermatogenesis, do not occur. The primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis first, which is reductional division. What interesting phenomena occurs here, that is the unequal division of cytoplasm occurs. Equal division of nuclear material occurs, but the unequal division of cytoplasm occurs, resulting into the formation of two different sized cells, one larger known as secondary oocyte and one smaller, that is known as first polar body. Meiosis first is followed by meiosis second, which is which is equational division. Here the secondary oocyte undergo meiosis second to form functional ovum, also known as oocyte, and a smaller polar body. Here also unequal division of the cytoplasm occurs. First polar body also undergo meiosis second to form second and third polar bodies. Now, at the end of this process, only one ovum is formed, whereas at the end of this process, 4 spermatids are formed. Now, one spermatogonia produces 4 spermatids. One oogonia produces 1 ovum. One primary spermatocyte produces 4. One primary produces only 1. One secondary produces 2. One secondary produces only 1. So that is the difference between spermatogenesis and the oogenesis. Thank you very much.